Okay, so welcome to the class, and today we're going to talk about India's balance of payment. Yes, so we will talk about some very important features like India's balance of payment, and we will also talk about capital account and other things. Okay, so these are like because we in the exam they can ask you what is BOP, so that's so we will do some very technical terms which is very important for you to remember. At the same time, I will also explain you certain current events also which is related to this topic. So let's begin. So let us first talk about is balance of payments. Okay, so India's balance of payment is very important. For that, we need to know that what is balance of payment account. So balance of payment account. Okay, so it's also called in short form BOP. Now it is the oldest and the most important statistical statement for any country. Okay, so in a nutshell, BOP of a country is a systematic record of all economic transactions between the residents of one country with the residents of the other country in a financial year. Okay, so economic transactions, so these are economic transactions. So economic transactions include all the earnings and also the borrowings. Yes, the borrowings by a country from the other countries. Okay, so we will talk about some source of earnings and source of borrowing. So you should know like what is our income flow, that is inflow, and what are the outflows of balance of payments. Okay, so let me just clear this. Yeah, so we will talk about it. So first we will talk about is the source of earnings. Okay, so once we know the source of earnings, we will know that what it is, and then so that is also called as inflow. Okay, source of earnings, which is also called as inflows. Yes, so that is the merchandise. So merchandise exports. So these are the good things for us. Okay, then also is the service exports, then interest, profits, dividends, and royalties received from foreign countries. Okay, then we also talk about is the gifts, grants, and aids received from foreign countries. Okay, we also talk about then private transfers, and they are also called as remittances. So such as remittances. So this is also called as inflow. Okay, as I said, also I've explained to you. Now let us talk about is the source of borrowings through inflow. So this was the source of earnings. Now let us talk about is the source of borrowings. Okay, so let me just clear this. Yes, so yes, source of borrowings. So source of borrowings can be also called as I said, also it's also called as, inflows of borrowings, so there can be so many things like foreign direct investment and so many things it can be. So that is very important. Okay, so as I said also that, when you're talking about it, you're also talking about many other things also. Okay, so let us first see one by one the source of borrowings, and it is also called the source of borrowings of inflow. So the first thing is, so the first one we will talk about is FDI, that is foreign direct investment. Then second is foreign portfolio. So we will also understand what is portfolio investment and what is foreign direct investment. So foreign portfolio investments. Yes, third, government loans from foreign governments. Okay, then short term deposits from non-residents, like by NRIs. Non-resident Indians are called as NRIs, and also foreigners. Okay, so this accumulation of net of payments over the years become the foreign exchange reserves of a country. So the payments should include all the spending and the lending by a country from the countries of the rest of the world. Okay, so we have to know, as I said, the spendings are called as outflows and the lendings are also called as outflow. So what kind of spendings can be done, like say merchandise imports, then service imports, interest profit. So let us just see one by one. We just now we spoke about was the source of earnings and the source of borrowing. So now we will talk about is the spendings and the lendings. Okay, so now just quickly let me rub this. So first we will talk about is spendings, that is the outflows. Okay, so the first one is merchandise imports, then service imports, third is interest, then profits, dividends, and royalties paid to foreign countries. Okay, then gifts, grants, and aids which we give to foreign countries, aids given to foreign countries. And fifth is the remittances paid. Okay, so this all together is the spendings and the outflows. Let's now talk about is, yes, the lendings. Yes, so let us now talk about is the lendings. So lendings, outflows. So this is a loss to the country, remember that. So first is the outward, like we are investing the foreign direct investment in any other country, so that is called as outward FDI, okay, by Indian firms. So any Indian who is investing the foreign foreign investment in any other country also, so that's called as outward. So any Indian investor who's investing any like foreign any capital to any foreign countries is called as outward FDI. So outward FDI by Indian firms, so that is an outflow because the money is getting out from our country. The second one is outward foreign portfolio investment by Indian citizens. Okay, then third is Indian governments lendings, okay, or loans to foreign governments, okay. And then also there is short term deposits, so you have to remember this. So short term deposits by country residents into foreign countries, okay. So this is very important. So balance of payment accounts of any country includes the 6 major accounts, so let us understand that also. So all, as I said, all the foreign receipts are financial inflows and all the foreign payments are financial outflows. So let me write down here. So all the foreign receipts are financial inflows because it is coming inside the country, and all the foreign payments are financial outflows in a given year, okay. Now what are the 6 major accounts that includes BOP, okay, of any country? So it's not only about India, but it's of any country. So as I said, the balance of payment accounts of any country includes the 6 major accounts, which are as follows. The first one is goods account. Second is services account. Third is unilateral transfer account, okay. Then is long term capital account, okay. The fifth is short term capital account, and the sixth one is international liquidity account, okay. So these 6 major accounts are clubbed together into the 2 most important accounts, okay. So let us see. Yes, so the 6 major accounts are clubbed together into 2 most important accounts, okay. So first is current account, and the next is capital account. So under current account we have its goods account, then we have services account, then we have unilateral transfer account, okay. Under capital account we have is long term capital account, and we have short term capital account, okay. So basically these are the way that is being divided also. Now as I said, now goods account is including all the value of merchandise exports and merchandise imports, okay, and they are also called as visible items in BOP. So that is what, so if positive goods is like when exports are more than imports, and it's negative goods when imports are greater than exports, okay. Then coming to the next one, what is services account? Now services account records all the services which are exported and imported by a country in a year, okay. So unlike goods which are tangible or visible, services are intangible, you cannot see, so hence they are called as invisible items in the BOP. Now the services transactions include like transportation, banking and insurance, tourism, travel and tourist, purchase of domestic goods and services, like foreign students, studying in host countries, and domestic students studying in the foreign countries. Okay, and it also includes, like expenses of diplomatic personals stationed overseas, as well as, income from diplomatic personals who are stationed in host country. So it is like that. So like some diplomats who are there in Russia, some Indian diplomats, so we have to pay for them. At the same time, if any Russian diplomat is staying in India, so the Russians will pay for us. Okay, and it also includes the investment income such as interest, then profits, then dividends and royalties, which is received from foreign countries and paid out also to foreign countries. So this is the difference between service account, as I said, and goods account. Okay, so this is very very important. Okay, now what is unilateral transfer? Now unilateral transfer includes the gifts, the grants, the remittances which is received from the foreign countries, and they are also paid to foreign countries. Okay, now unilateral transfers are divided into two types. Okay, so what are the two types? Let us just clear this. So there are two types unilateral. So one is private transfer and the next is government transfer. Okay, so private transfer is something like person to person transfers. Okay, and here it is something like, if you're giving an economic, so foreign economic aid and foreign military aid by one country government to another country government. Okay, so government to government transfer. So here we can say government to government transfer. Okay, so for helping or something, if the suppose it's like, India had recently helped so many countries, okay, at the time of famine and flood, so that is called as government transfer. Now example is like, suppose I'll give you an example of private transfer. Suppose an Indian Keralite working in UAE, he is remitting rupees 15,000 to his aged parents, so he pays or he sends the money to his aged parents from UAE to Kerala. So that is called as private transfer. The same way I can give you an example of government transfer, like say the United States military, it gives aid to Pakistan. It's a government transfer which is constituting a receipt or a credit item in Pakistan's BOP. So it will be reflected in Pakistan's balance of payment that the money has come from United States. Okay, so it will be a payment like, because ultimately the Pakistanis have to pay back, and that is why it will be included in the debit side of the Pakistan's, the USA's debit side of BOP, because USA has paid the money to Pakistan. So Pakistan, it will show as the credit side, and in USA it will show as the debit side. Okay. Now, why are they called as unilateral? Because they are unrequited transfers. Okay, so they are called so because the flow of transfer is, unidirectional or in one direction. Okay, so there is no liability for an automatic reverse flow or repayment. So once the payment is done, you cannot change it. Okay, and these items are simply like, gifts and grants which are exchanged between governments and people of one country to other. Okay, so long term capital, so everybody knows it includes the amount of capital that has been moved in or out in a country in a year. So capital that has moved in and out of a country for at least for a more than a 1 year, it is called as long term. And whichever is the same which is being done, like say for example the capital which is moved in and out for a period of less than 1 year, it is called as short term capital. Okay, so long term capital is generally the foreign direct investments and all that, and in short term it is basically the bank deposits which are done for frequent time. Okay, so government loans and all, these are all the examples of long term loans and capital. Okay, so this you have to remember, because as I told you also, it's very very important. And because why Japanese now, why do we need FD, and why Japanese has to invest in India, suppose for an example, because Japanese want that the capital should also, they should also earn something, because if you see, it is that some profits will be remaining in India and the rest of the profits will be taken to Japan. Okay. And why Japanese will invest in India? Because here the labor is cheaper, the market is cheaper, it's huge market, they can sell variety kinds of goods. Okay. So that is why it is so important. Okay. Now